When people talk about the greatest assassins in the franchise, names like Altair ibn Lahad, Ezio Auditore or Bayekov Siva are usually the first to come up. But there is one assassin who is rarely talked about, even though his actions changed the course of history for both assassins and the Templars. His name was Thomas de Carneillon. Born in 1276 in Metz, Thomas was originally a banker before joining the French Brotherhood. Over time, he rose through the ranks and eventually became one of the most respected assassins of his era. And what makes Thomas so interesting is that he lived during one of the most important periods in the war between assassins and Templars. At the beginning of 14th century, the Templars were still operating openly and held enormous influence across the Europe. Unlike the later games, where Templars worked from the shadows, they were a public and powerful organization. Thomas played a major role bringing that era to an end. In 1307, he helped organize the attack on the Templars that led to their downfall. During the raid on the Paris Temple, he attempted to steal the legendary Sword of Eden and an important Templar manuscript known as Codex Pater Intellectus. Although he failed to secure those artifacts, the operation itself was a success. The Templars lost their public power, their reputation was destroyed, and they were forced to go underground. And from that moment on, the Templars could no longer operate openly and had to adapt to the life in the shadows. And honestly, that's what makes Thomas so impressive. Many assassins defeated individual Templars. Thomas helped to break the power of entire order in Europe. After the fall of Templars, he spent years traveling across the Europe, hunting down the remnants of the order and preventing them from rebuilding their influence. Eventually, he became mentor of the French Brotherhood and continued serving the creed until his death in 1323. What I find most interesting is not what Thomas did, it's how he thought. According to his writings, Thomas was one of the few assassins who understood that defeating an enemy doesn't always mean destroying them. Even after the Templars were publicly defeated, he worried that forcing them underground might actually make them harder to stop in the future. And if you played Assassin's Creed games, you know that he was right. It's like a foreshadowing. The Templars survived, they adapted, and the war continued for centuries. Because of everything he accomplished, Thomas became a legend within the French Brotherhood. His robes were placed in the secret vault beneath Paris, protected by the most famous Nostradamus enigmas. Hundreds of years later, Arnaud Dorian would recover them during the events of Assassin's Creed Unity. And for a lot of players, it's just a cool outfit. But in the lore aspect, those robes are the symbol, a symbol one of the greatest assassins in the French Brotherhood. And that's why I think Thomas de Carneillon deserves more attention. Even though he appears for only a few minutes in the game, his actions had an impact that lasted for centuries. Sometimes the greatest legends are not the ones we spend the most time with. Sometimes they are the ones whose influence can still be felt long after they're gone. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's my first time doing such a deep dive on a certain character and especially such a niche character, so I hope I didn't say something false about him. If I did, please correct me in the comments. Also, let me know what do you think about this character, or maybe you have another niche character that you think deserves more attention. It will be interesting to read your opinion. Subscribe to the channel, join our brotherhood, and thank you for staying till the end.